clearly indicates the author and the person to whom it is addressed. 5, discloses the origin or source of the document. 6, bears certification where a document other than the original is being tabled. 7, if electronic, whether it has been obtained from a source that does not permit alteration of contents, it is a matter dealing with the rule of admission of electronic evidence. 8, whether it is related to a claim made before the House or a committee of its content, whether it has a nexus with a claim. And finally, number 9, whether it is stamped and clearly indicates the person signing off the stamp. Honourable members, what I've just highlighted is what I would call the basic rules of determining the admissibility and or authenticity or otherwise of a document tabled in the House. Any document tabled by a member in this House as evidence for substantiation of any allegations made by the member under Standing Order number 91 must hence pass the threshold set by the 9 rules on admissibility. Honourable members, now moving to the issue of Honourable Fatuma Gedi, you will recall that on the material date, that is the 14th of April 2022, the Honourable Member did table several documents, and in particular, attempted to make fresh and further claims and then sought to substantiate them, instead of simply tabling the documents as required. Ordinarily, the standing orders require a member providing evidence in substantiation to a matter claimed in the House to do so within the next sitting day. Given the seriousness of the claims that the member for Wajir County had made on the 12th of April 2022, the Speaker was sufficiently magnanimous, having granted her 2 days to comply with the standing orders. Whenever a member is required to avail evidence to substantiate a claim already made, the sequence of events is that he or she tables the evidence, the Speaker confirms authenticity and admissibility before any member proceeding to make further reference to the paper laid or to use them as evidence. Indeed, there is also the same sequence in a judicial proceeding. However, the Honourable Member failed to comply with this requirement. The Honourable Member therefore forfeited the opportunity to do so as set out by the standing orders. In view of the foregoing, the matter is spent in terms of Standing Order number 91, and there shall be no further substantiation by the member or debate on it. Honourable members, with respect to the documents that were tabled by the Honourable Fatuma Gedi, I note that they consisted of newspaper printouts, photographs, and certified court judgments, or a self-written statement by the Honourable Member, and other uncertified papers. In particular, I note that the court judgment did not bear any certification, and the documents tabled did not also relate to the claims made before the House by the Honourable Fatuma Gedi. Hence, their content lacks a nexus with the claims she made in the House. In this regard, therefore, Honourable Members, I rule that the documents are inadmissible for failure to meet the threshold set by the rules of admissibility that I have outlined above. Consequently, I direct that the documents tabled by the Honourable Member during the sitting of the House on 14th of April 2022 be expunged from the records of the House forthwith. I also direct the clerk to return the documents that the Honourable Member purported to table to her at an appropriate time. To this end, this matter is spent in terms of Standing Order number 91, and there shall be no further substantiation by the Honourable Member or further debate on it. Honourable Members, allow me to, however, caution all members against making claims or allegations in this House which the claimant cannot substantiate. You will indeed observe the Standing Order, that Standing Order number 91, subsection 2, provides that a member who is unable to substantiate allegations made in the House within the next sitting day is deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order number 107, and hence it will be paramount for a member to be responsible for the accuracy of their statements and any facts which a member alleges or makes and claims to be true. Honourable members, further allow me to also caution members against making allegations which amount to discussing the conduct of a person whose removal from the office requires a decision of this House without a substantive motion. Indeed, you will recall that during the sitting of the House on 14th of April 2022, the member for Yatta, the Honorable Charles Kilonzo, did make reference to the provision of Standing Order number 87 and reminded the House of the need to propose a substantive motion if a member intends to discuss the conduct of a person whose conduct requires sanction by this House. Honourable members, for avoidance of doubt, Standing Order number 87, subsection 1, requires that any member who wishes to discuss and or refer adversely to the conduct of a person whose removal from office requires a decision of this House should only do so through a specific substantive motion of which at least 3 days' notice has been given. It is clear from this that the direction the Honorable Fatuma Gedi was taking this House to would circumvent the procedure laid out in Standing Order number 87 by discussing the conduct of a person without a substantive motion. Honourable members, now moving on to the case of the member for Embakasi East. You recall that on the particular day, I did order the member to withdraw from the chamber for the rest of the day owing to his disorderly conduct. However, the member declined. Honourable members, it was clear that the member's conduct was gross and unbecoming. As you are aware, Standing Order number 111 provides as follows, and I quote, "If any member shall refuse to withdraw when required to do so, by or under these standing orders, the Speaker or the Chairperson of the committee, as the case may be, having called the attention of the House or committee to the fact that recourse to force is necessary in order to compel such member to withdraw, shall order such member to be removed, and such member shall thereupon, without question put, be suspended from the service of the House for a minimum period of 21 days and a maximum period of 90 days, and shall during such suspension forfeit the right of access to the precincts of Parliament, and the Sergeant-at-Arms shall take necessary action to enforce the order." Close the quote. Honourable members, despite calls from some of you for me to enforce this particular provision, I restrained myself from invoking Standing Order 111 on that day, and I intend, for purpose of good order, to restrain myself from invoking it even today. However, honourable members, it has not escaped the attention of this House that the member for Embakasi East indeed declined to leave the chamber when he was ordered to do so by the Speaker. Due to the gross disorder that arose in this House thereafter, I deferred my ruling on the member's conduct to today. In this regard, honourable members, I hereby order that the member for Embakasi East, the Honourable Babu Owino Ongili, to withdraw from the chamber and from the precincts of the National Assembly for a period of 5 days inclusive of today on account of gross disorderly conduct pursuant to Standing Order 107A of our standing orders. Honourable members, the Sergeant-at-Arms is to enforce this order immediately, and if the member is not presently in the chamber, the member shall not be allowed access to the precincts of Parliament or attendance to any committee meetings or parliamentary functions during the 5 days of the suspension. Any committee meeting attended by the member during the 5 days shall be invalid, since the member is now deemed to be a stranger. Further, the member shall not attend committee meetings as a member of the public. Finally, honourable members, may I draw the attention of the House, and in particular to the House leadership on both sides, that this part of the session has 4 weeks comprising of 16 days only, unless the House, by resolution, decides to increase. The following critical business with the statutory timelines will need to be considered and passed by this House within those 4 weeks. Number one being the budget estimate for the financial years 2020-2023, the Appropriations Bill 2022, the Finance Bill 2022, and the County Allocation of Revenue Bill 2022. In addition to these statutory pieces of legislation, none of members, the House Business Committee has accorded priority to other pieces of legislation, including the Huduma Bill 2021, the Children Bill 2021, the Universities Amendment Bill 2021, the National Disaster Risk Management Bill 2022, the Persons with Disabilities Bill 2021, the Public Finance Management Bill 2022, elections-related regulations from the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, debt-related regulations from the National Treasury, as well as a number of individual members' bills and approval of appointments to certain state offices. I may also wish to draw the attention of the House to the fact that the House Business Committee has considered in its today's meeting and approved a proposal that only bills, private members' bills that do not concern county governments will be given priority, since if they concern county governments, as you may all expect, they are likely to die in the other house, even if they are passed by this house. And therefore, to allow members who have legislative proposals that do not concern counties an opportunity to have them considered by the House during this short period. Honourable members, whereas I'm cognizant that politics is now at the center stage due to the forthcoming general elections, members should refrain from bringing to this House their political differences or use the floor of the House to advance their political agendas, hence causing disorder in the House. At this stage of the election cycle, honourable members, politicking should be a preserve of our political rallies and not the floor of the House. Indeed, it will not be possible for the pending business of the House to be considered in a disorderly and chaotic House. Honourable members, allow me to caution that as the representatives of the people, the pending business of the House that I have just highlighted is certainly one which is of huge significance to the people you represent. It is hence paramount that you conclude all the pending business before the House adjourns sine die. Honourable members, I also wish to emphasize that it is incumbent upon the House leadership on both sides to secure the maintenance of decorum in the House. At this end, as your Speaker, and indeed this is the position of the entire Presidium, allow me to reiterate that we shall not allow continuity of a sitting in which disorder and chaos is instigated by the same members who expect the Speaker to marshal and ensure that consideration of such business is expedited. The House is accordingly guided. And with regard to the member for Embakasi East, the Sergeant at Arms is allowed to is instructed to ensure the member does not gain entry even to Continental House, County Hall, or into the presence of this compound, even using the Senate gates. Yes, on the number? Yeah, proceed. No, honourable members, you know, there's no comment on no, not on that, not on that. Not on that. It never, you know, I thought you were doing your second term, Honourable Wadai. No, that one is over. I can give you the communication to read. Yes. Yes, let's move to the next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Order members. Members taking your seats. Take your seats. Take your seats. Take your seats. Honourable members, Pursuant to the provision standing under number 42, subsection 2, I wish to report to the House that on Wednesday, 4th May 2022, I received a message from His Excellency the President conveying his nomination of 22 persons for appointment as ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives. Honourable members, the message conveyed in part that having exercised his powers under the provisions of Article 132, Clause 2, Paragraph E of the Constitution, in seeking the National Assembly's approval of the following persons for appointment to the offices of ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives to the stations specified hereunder. 1, Mr. Clement Nzomo Kiteme. These are ambassadors. Station Angola. Ms. Mary Mugwanja, Austria. Professor Bitange Demo, Belgium. 4, Mudhoni Geshohi, China. 5, Ambassador Gadhoga Chege, Cuba. 6, Dr. Caroline Wanjiru Karugu, Denmark. 7, Ambassador Salim Salim, Djibouti. 8, Major General A.G. Matiri, Egypt. 9, Ambassador Galma Boru, Indonesia. 10, Mr. Paul Dongo, Mozambique. High Commissioners, number 11, Mr. Michael Sialai, Namibia. 12, Major General Andrew Ikenye, Nigeria. 13, Ms. Margaret Shava, Netherlands. 14, Ms. Amina Abdallah, Sultanate of Oman. 15, Ambassador Nyambura Kamau, Pakistan. 16, Mr. Boniface N. Mwilu, Qatar. 17, Ambassador Michael Oyugi, Spain. 18, Major General retired Thomas Chapkuto, Somalia. 19, Mr. Leonard Boyo, Turkey. 20, Major General retired George Owino, Uganda. Permanent representatives. Number 21, Professor Richard Bosire, Ambassador stroke permanent representative to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, in brackets UNESCO. And finally, 22, Major General retired Charles Getwai, Ambassador stroke permanent representative to the Intergovernmental Authority for Development, in brackets IGAD. Honourable members, you will also recall that on 2nd of February 2022, the House resolved that upon receipt of any name or names of a person or persons nominated for appointment to a state or public office from the President or any other office in the National Executive, the Speaker shall forthwith refer such message to the relevant committee for consideration without having to recall the House. In this regard, honourable members, during the recess period, I did notify all members of receipt of the names and refer the same to the Departmental Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations in accordance with the provisions standing under 45 subsection 1 relating to committee of messages to committees. The committee is required to commence necessary vetting processes as contemplated under the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act and standing under number 45, and thereafter table its report for consideration by the House within the statutory timelines. I thank you, honourable members.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Leader of the majority.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. As I lay these papers, allow me also to welcome members back for this